Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will learn how we can integrate the Facebook messaging channel in the Einstein bots. To start with the messaging, let's firstly focus on what is messaging. Messaging helps customers faster by communicating with them over their preferred messaging channels. These messaging channels can be Facebook messengers, or they can be the WhatsApp messengers, or maybe the simply SMS text messages. In this session, for the demoing purpose, we will showcase you how we can integrate the Facebook messengers with the Einstein bots. There are certain prerequisites that we need to have in order to access this messaging channel in the Salesforce instances. The prerequisites are: we need to have the digital engagement add-on SKU license available, and this is available only for the enterprise, unlimited, and the developer editions with Service Cloud or the Sales Cloud. Alongside with this license, we also have to have the omni-channel enabled in the system, and it has to be there for the messaging. Once we have this digital engagement license available in our Salesforce org, and then we can see in the company information that the messaging user license will be available, and you can see it is active and the number of licenses available in the system. Once we have this license available, we can see the messaging settings and the templates. These messaging settings will enable us to create the new channels for the WhatsApp or the SMS text or the Facebook messengers. Now let's focus on how we can create the Facebook Messenger channel for our Einstein bot. As I mentioned, to complete with this messaging settings or enabling this messaging users, we also have to have the omnichannel scripts or omnichannel available in the system. When we have the omnichannel, we also have to configure the routing configurations. All you need to do is to go to the routing configuration there. And in the routing configuration, you can define the name of the routing configuration and the priority, the routing model, and the units of capacity of the routing model. Next is, using this routing configuration, you need to create a queue in the system. In this queue, you need to define the supported object as the messaging session and the routing configuration as the Facebook Messenger POC that we just created previously. Once you are done with the queue creation, you can add a users on the queue. This user will be responsible to do the live chat agentation with the customers whenever there is a live chat agentation coming through the Facebook messengers. Once we have enabled the queues, once we have created the queues, once we have enabled the routing configurations, the messaging service channel will be available in the system because we have this messaging already enabled by using the SKU add-on license from the Salesforce. And then once we have the service channel, we can go to the presence statuses that will be applicable for any agent. And on all these presence statuses, you need to define the service channel. So if I go to the presence status as the available, and here I have decided what all the channels this particular presence status will be applicable on. For example, I have selected the channel as chat and the messaging. The chat channel will be available for the Einstein bots when it is coming to the chat channel, and when the Einstein bot is coming through the social networkings, for example, the Facebook or WhatsApp or the SMS text, at that time the messaging channel will work. Okay, so this is all about the presence status. Next is, we need to create some permission sets and allow the certain permissions in order to access or modify the messaging settings in the system. So what we have done is we have created a new permission set that is naming as the configure messaging channel. And in this configure messaging channel, we have to assign certain permission at the app permissions level. These permissions are agent initiated outbound messaging. Let me edit this and I will show you. Okay, so these are the app permission that we need to assign to the users in order to edit the SMS channels. And configure messaging is there, and messaging session is there, messaging agent is there, send one-to-many messages is there. So once we have created this permission set with all these required permissions on the app side, next is we need to assign these permissions on the user level. So whenever we create a user, first thing first is we need to assign the permission set licenses. What you can do is you can go to edit assignments, and here you can search for the messaging user, and you can just enable this messaging user license for that user. Once you save this, you will see a messaging user license is available for the user in the system. And then next you can go to assigning the permission set assignments. You can click on edit and you can assign the permission set that is required to that is required to give the access to edit the messaging channels in the system. Once we are done with this user's assignment and providing the permission sets and the permission licenses, what we can do is we can next go to the setup and type on the messaging settings. You enable the messaging here, and then you can create the new channels. Once you click on the new channels, you will see a couple of options to create the messaging channels. These are the SMS text messaging, WhatsApp messengers, or the Facebook messengers. Given this video is all about the Facebook messengers and how we can integrate the Facebook messengers with the Einstein Bot, we'll continue with the Facebook messenger channel, and we can go ahead next. Now next, this will ask you to go for the authentication. To click on the authenticate users, and then there you can see a Facebook page will open up where you can provide the Facebook credentials and you can continue as the Facebook name. And then you will be presented with all the pages, Facebook pages that you have created in your Facebook account. For example, let's say I have created 2 Facebook pages, so I can see the 2 Facebook pages listing over here, and then you can select which Facebook page you want to integrate with this messaging channel. For example, if I want to select in this FB Messenger integration, I can go on to next. Here you can provide the chat acknowledgement, which will say you once you have initiated a chat with the Facebook Messenger and the Einstein Bot, it will provide you the acknowledgement that you have received a messaging from us, and then the end user will be able to understand that you are talking to an agent and he or she can connect with you shortly. Next is you can go to the routing mechanism there where you need to route the incoming chats. For this, you have the 2 processes. Either you can go for the new queue creation. It will be a brand new process completely where you can define the queues and all those informations. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can just choose the another option to stop the setup flow, and you can manually connect to a queue or the omnichannel flow. And once you do this, you will be at the end of this setting of the messaging channel. You just click on the next, and this is all you are done. Once you are done with this, you will see a messaging channel will appear in the system. You just click on the done, and then here you will see you have created this FB Messenger integration, and this will be listed in your list view of the messaging channels. Since I have already created a bot testing here, and this is already integrated with the Facebook pages with Facebook page, and what you can do here is you can click on the edit, and once you click on the edit, you will see the different options there where you can choose the routing type, that is the omnichannel routing. And the queue, we did create a queue Facebook Messenger POC, a queue we did create which was using the Facebook Messenger POC as the routing configuration. And because this queue is available on the messaging sessions, and that's why it's available here to choose from the available page options. And next we have some certain confirmation messages that we can provide. For example, let's say if someone types in hi, hello, or whatever is the keyword there, then if someone is doing for the opt-in confirmation, and if you want to provide any wordings for the opt-in confirmation, you can provide in there like thanks for opting in, allowing us to send you the messages. And there are certain opt-out keywords which will help you to end the conversation. So a couple of keywords that we have here is stop, all, cancel, stop, unsubscribe, and quit, and you can add as many as you want. There are certain opt-out confirmation. Once you type in the opt-out keywords, then the end user will be presented with these wordings that you have opted out for the conversation, and what should be the conversation text once you have chosen the opted out keywords. And similarly, as we have just discussed, the conversation acknowledgement is when you start the conversation, it can acknowledge the customer's input that the customer input has been accepted at the company side. And once we have the live agent available and live agent accept this chat, at the time you can edit the response that any live agent has accepted the chat. And in case of end of the conversation, you can define what should be the automated text going out for the end of the conversation. Yeah, so this is all done for the messaging side. Next is what and how we need to configure it in the Einstein Bot. For that, we have Einstein Bot in the system, and on that Einstein Bot, you can go on to the overview here. When you click on the Einstein Bot, you will see this kind of dialogues behavior, the layout, and then you can click on the dialogues at the top left, and here you can go to the overview, and in the overview side, you can see the connections over there, where you can define the connections, and here you can add the connections. You can have number of connections to choose from. For example, as we have created the Facebook, you can just click on the Facebook and you can search for the connection over here. For example, we have the bot, but bot is already configured here, so it will not be available. But the next one that we just created can be here. 1 second, let me see what was the messenger, FB Messenger integration. So if I type in here FB, so you will see the available options from the messaging sessions will appear here to select from. And here you can see, as you select, it will be available for the selection. Since I have already one message channel configured for this Einstein Bot testing, this will be sufficient for us for this demo. This is all done for the Salesforce side. We have created the messaging session, the Facebook Messenger, and then we have also created the Einstein Bot and enabled the connection as the Facebook Messenger. Next is we need to go to the Facebook account and go to the Facebook page that we have just created. On this Facebook page, you will see the add a button. On this add a button, click on this add a button, and you will see a send message. Yeah, so the button is added on this page. Next is you need to test the button. So as soon as you test the button, and if I go back to my Einstein configuration here, and if I show you how my dialogues are, and if you really see the main menu here, so I have given this main menu that I need to be seeing, check my order, report a problem, or transfer to live agent. And when I am into the Facebook page, and if I type in anything like, let's say, hi, so it will connect me to the Salesforce instance Einstein Bot, and it will allow me to have a conversation. The opt-in message has come in here. Thanks for opting in and allowing us to send you the messages. And now you can see, hi, I'm Inevitable Yogendra. This is my Einstein chatbot name and a digital assistant. And here I have this number of options to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. Instead of an option in conventional Einstein Bot where you can add the connection as the chat channel, and there you will see a button, clickable button over there. But here in the Facebook messengers, you will see the options 1, 2, and 3, and you have to type in those options there. In order to go for the live agent session, what I need to do is, firstly, I need to make myself available in the Omni channel. So let me just make myself available in the Omni channel. Okay, so to enable myself as the available agent, let me log into the service console, and at the bottom you will see the Omni channels options over there, and you can go on to select the available there. And once you are making yourself available, a live agent will be there to have a chat or conversation with the end customer. Now again, if I come back to the Facebook page, and if I type in here as 3, so it will connect me to the live agent because I have made myself available in the system. I'll get it here, and it will prompt transfer live agent. This all has been configured here on the transfer to live agent Einstein Bot, and I have configured this. What is the message that I need to show in? And once I have this already configured, you can see a chat is coming through on my Omni channel, and I can see I can accept the chat here. And once I accept the chat, I can start the conversation there. Hi user, and whatever I'm typing in, I'll be able to see here. I need some help on my order detail. So as soon as the customer types in, the same chat will be available for the agent to look into, and he can see what are the new messages coming in. Sure thing. Can I get your ID, please? And in case we are satisfied with the conversation, we can end the conversation. But what all we need to do is to type the certain opt-out keywords, as I told you or explained you previously, and typing as stop, as this is the information was available in the messaging settings when we have created in the Facebook Messenger channel. And if I type in as stop, it will stop the conversation in there itself, and you will see that you have opted out of the receiving SMSs, and we want to contact you again. And when you go to the agent chat sneak peek over there, you will see the chat is ended there. So this covers everything in terms of how you can configure the Facebook Messenger channel and the integration of the Facebook messaging channel with the Einstein Bot, and how you can utilize this Einstein Bot in our Facebook pages. So this will be very helpful when you have the company and that company is having a page that is available in the social platforms, let's say on the Facebook, and there you can have a direct interaction with the customers. Thank you.